Okay, hello everyone. We've got plenty of space and plenty of time, so I'm going to talk about the DC RWBY comic crossover. This is titled, at least this paper is titled, The DC slash RWBY comic book is actually good. We are talking about the comic books, not the animated films, as I have not seen those yet, and certainly will have thoughts on those too, and plan on doing reviews if I have enough thoughts on them. If not, expect comments on my social media to be about this. But for now, we're talking about the comic book from 2023 that quickly got overshadowed by both movies. Okay, characterization. Some of this I wrote a few weeks ago, and I finished it like yesterday or the day before. The day before, yeah, I think, whatever. The characterizations of the characters are actually good. RWBY actually acts like a leader. She actually, like, that's how you write RWBY, people. Keep attention, well, Viz writers and people working on the actual show and presumably in development side stuff. This is how you write RWBY in this side DC comic book. Okay, okay, this is about the characters, then it's about other stuff that happening. Weiss tries to be good and to lecture about powers and sees Lex Luthor as sus, but then she's like, "Oh no, my dust! If Justice League and RWBY were in better spots in the franchise, I could definitely see her panel where she goes, 'Oh no, our dust,' which is the thing that powers the weapons and technology in RWBY. Like that could be a meme. It should be a meme. I hope nothing like that happens in the animated movies. This kind of stupid thing for Weiss to do. But yeah, it's like, oh no, our dust. We explained how our things work, and then our bad guys stole our energy source. Who could have predicted that? Yeah, she lets Lex Luthor steal all the dust after explaining how it works. This is a bit of a side comment, tangent, but it's about the characters. There's lots of stuff about how stories work and how important they are in fairy tales and sort of things. Like, there's some knight that fights this dragon that carries a city on its back, and it's like Batman fighting a Joker, but they both would die if they hurt each other. It's complicated. Read the comic yourself for the story. This is mostly about how the characters interacted with the thing. Okay, Yang and Blake are kind of clingy, but that's kind of appropriate for the era it came from. Yang being pals with Wonder Woman again in another DC Comics crossover is good. I hope she's pals in the movies. I know she interacts a few times. And I read the classic comics not too long ago, the old Wonder Woman ones. Her optimism and happiness and I'm gonna punch you or lights out stuffness reminds me of Yang a lot. Maybe she should fight in a death battle with the real Earth 2, the original Earth 2 before the multiverse junk started. That version of her. I don't know. It could still be pretty easy in its classic Wonder Woman. I don't know. That'd be fun though. Maybe just Yang fights regular Wonder Woman. Maybe with no crossover scaling. With crossover scaling, which crossover would count? Anyway, moving on. Okay, yeah, the Yang and Blake hitting on Catwoman thing. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I liked that. Okay, yeah, that was funny. Good gag. Good in character. This is that later era. Maybe before the Ever After stuff. Maybe after it. I don't know. They didn't bring it up unlike I think they do in the movies. Anyway, whatever. Okay, yeah. Speaking of Blake, Blake was kind of smart in this, and she again was written well. At least when she was contributing to the story instead of funny side stuff, because like that's objectionable, but objectable whatever you feel like about it. But I liked that personally. Like she helps find out the mystery of how they can get home. Hang on, and how the helps the team really solve the mystery of why the Grimm are appearing in the real world and the DC Comics world and stuff. Okay, I didn't write this down, but like it was ridiculous. Yang tanked a punch from Superman. I know she teams up with the other characters to try to subdue Salem in a later volume I haven't seen yet, but like she tanked a punch from Superman. This is definitely not the main universe. Yang and Blake are already there for each other. I already said that, kinda. That was good. I thought of. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the end of that. So this is the character designs, which were inconsistent and a bit different. I noticed that in Marvel and DC Comics, and since the costumes are important in RWBY, I'm going to notice that here. This might be a 10-minute video, which might probably be my first one that's not a Nintendo Direct. Let's just continue with what's going on. Slightly different designs in the first and later parts of the, this was the ones I wrote later, what I liked best. RWBY, I liked the later half for Ruby's outfit in this crossover. I liked the cool, shades, Garen the gun, see-through stuff, and the spiky planty bits in her boot, they looked pretty much the same, but her boots looked a bit more comfortable in the later design, which of course I'm gonna think about how the outfits work for the character. I mean, it's not like it's a transformation comic, but I mean, I will be bringing that up or webcomics at a later date. No commitment in the future, but I may talk about transformation comics and the outfits, because if characters are shrinking or turning into werewolves, then they're going to definitely need to talk about if their clothes change or not, and how they do that. Answer: magic or magic mad science. Anyway, back to the actual RWBY characters, and not mad science webcomic rants. Okay. I like the Weiss's earlier design in this. Her butterfly necklace and blue triangle thing looks fine. Later on, just looks like a generic, like, Atlas outfit, just white and less, thing. Okay, Blake, earlier in the... Okay, Blake. Stays the same. Kind of looks like the DC villain slash anti-hero Huntress with the purple. Midriff outfit looks more... looks the same, but she looks a bit more buff in the later outfit, which I mean, like, these are martial arts monster slayers that work out. They should be buff. Some of them there should be buff. I like when the characters actually look like that. And I think having strong female characters is pretty cool. Okay. Yang, I liked both outfits. Both of them have merits. The early one had the robot arm. It didn't change back and forth, and like some of the stuff on the later one. But the later outfit had her actually look buff. And her outfit was inspired by the Amazons on Wonder Woman's island, and that was pretty nice. And like ancient Greek / Roman thing, which is pretty nice, and sort of contradicts her lady soldier / aerial fighter motif thing. That makes sense for her. Maybe I'll discuss the characters' regular outfits at another point. Okay, I do have more time, so these were notes I have. I noticed that Yang kept calling Batman Badman earlier on. Don't think I didn't notice that. In a Gumball episode, there was a parody of Batman called Badman. This is more of a coincidence, I think, not weird connection, but I mean, this is a Warner thing, so maybe that was intentional. And this other thing I was noticing is that apparently the Grimm can go between dimensions. They're like Heartlesses in Kingdom Hearts. They could go to some other universe if somebody opened the portal. There's other universe portals in canon now. Does that lead to crossovers? Canon crossovers with other things? Could this possibly help me if I'm like thinking of a versus pull where actually doing real scaling and I'm like somebody has control over the Grimm from Salem's Place and then some villain from Kingdom Hearts could fight each other? I think the Grimm if I wanted to, I'd say I think the Grimm are technically better than Heartlesses, because Heartlesses are like monsters that are basically formed from people's souls and stuff and aren't whole beings and are sort of want to be back to normal unless they're being controlled or they're smarty enough to keep their brains, like Scar from The Lion King. So, I just tapped my head even though you can't see that. So, yeah. That was my thoughts on this. It's pretty cool, and it's probably overshadowed by the movie. Give it a read for a chance if you're interested. Follow my videos for more. I guess this is the last video of 2024. I will not be doing a year review thingy, but I might do it on my social media, so follow me there. And we're over 10 minutes now, so thank you for following me. And if you stumbled upon this randomly, we're just typing blurry phone guy reviews RWBY episodes, or just randomly got this in your feed at 10 a.m. and wanted to read it or watch it, whatever, feel free to do that. And thank you, and goodbye.